Good morning. Hi, my name is Tracy Justice, and I am the Be Bold coach and consultant. I help leaders lead with a Be Bold mindset. Now, the Be Bold mindset is about taking a bold chance on yourself, your ideas, so that you feel aligned to your life's purpose, right? Because there's nothing unsettling when you don't feel like you're aligned to the calling that you feel that you have on your life, right? And the second thing that I help leaders do is that I help leaders leverage that Be Bold mindset to lead, build, and sustain diverse, inclusive, anabolic teams. And it's all done through energetic awareness. So, and if you want to learn a little bit more about that, I should add, definitely go to my website at www.beboldbu. Let's get that going. Gotta shake off the little jitteries today. But yes, visit me at beboldbu.com to schedule your 45-minute complimentary session. So if you want to learn a little bit more about what I do, definitely go look at my website, visit my website, see what I'm about, see what my philosophy is about. And then if you want to take it a little bit step further, right? Like if you want to take that bold move and figure out what being bold could look like for you, connect with me, schedule your complimentary session. All right, so welcome to the Bold Life Livecast Test Drive Series. Now, I'm calling it the Test Drive Series. I want to talk a little bit about why I'm calling it the Test Drive Series, right? Because I'm taking a step. I'm being bold, putting myself out there, right? Because this is kind of an uncomfortable thing for me. But the desire to do what it is that I want to do is so much more greater than this uncomfortable feeling. So I'm here. And so I'm calling it the Test Drive Series because I'm not sure exactly how I want my series to go. But what I do know is that what I want is to do it. I want to start. I want to put myself out there and not wait, right? Like not sit, not procrastinate, but move forward in that with the bold moves that I feel within me. Like, just taking that step forward. And so that's what this Test Drive Series is about. And so what my call to action is, what I'm requesting of you, my big ask, is that you'll join me. Join me on this this bold move challenge. I'm going to put up the screen here so that, yes. So join me on this challenge. I'm making a bold move by hosting this livecast and giving myself till November 2nd to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Right? Like, so what I'm planning to do is that if every week I show up here by November 2nd, I wonder, I'm curious to see how much growth I will have because I've been committed to it every week. Now, I would love for you to join me on this. Join me on this journey. Do you have a bold move? Do you have a bold move that you've been wanting to take and it's been taking you quite a bit because you've been sitting down on it? Or maybe you've been, coming up with stories, right? Because that's what we talked about last week. The stories that we tell ourselves that prevent us from moving forward. Take a chance on yourself. Take a bold chance on yourself. And please, join me on this journey. So today's topic, let's get into today's topic, because today's topic, and let me get my print screen up. Today's topic is, are you living the bold life? Yeah, so that is my question to you. Are you living the bold life? Now you might say, Tracy, well, what does bold mean, right? Like, what does bold mean before I can even answer that, right? So the definition for bold, and I got this through Google, through the Oxford Dictionary through Google, says when referring to a person, action, or idea as showing an ability to take risks, confident and courageous. So when you think about that definition, do you feel like that resonates with the life that you're currently living right now? It's a question that you'd really have to sit with for yourself and ask yourself, am I living the bold life? Or in what areas am I being bold? And in what areas in my life am I not being bold? So before what my plan for today is that I have 3 things that I want to talk about that I did. What worked for me, that helped me, get going on my bold Move Challenge. But before I do that, I want to share this quote from I Ching. So I'm putting this here because like the quote was just too long. And so I just want to make sure that I don't get hit with any, with taking credit from anybody, right? So this is a quote by I Ching, not from me. And this is what the quote is. It says, "It is only when we have the courage to face things exactly as they are, without any self-deception or illusion, that a light will develop out of events by which the path to success may be recognized." That's really deep. It's only when we have the courage to accept things as they are, right? So we talked about last week the stories that we tell ourselves. Because the thing about stories is that it really does shape how you see things in life, what your outlook is before you. But you have to have the courage to tell yourself a different story. Because sometimes we are so comfortable with the stories that we've been telling ourselves, right? The stories that keep us stuck. And we get so comfortable with it that sometimes that we're not even afraid of failure. Sometimes we're more afraid of success, of our own greatness. How can you take the courage or have the courage to step over that story, right? Like to bypass the stories that you're telling yourself so that you can see things for what they truly are. Because when you're able to accept things as they come, you'll see that without judging the story, good or bad, and just seeing it for what it is, you start to see a light, a path light up just for you, and you start to see your way through. But it's about being bold, and it's about having the courage, right? Because courage is bold. Remember when we looked at the definition for bold, it is being confident and courageous, right? So I'm gonna lead us into the first thing that I had to do. The first thing that I had to do so that I can get on my Bold Move Challenge and start this, right? Because here's the idea that I had for this. I just want to create a community where there are leaders that are just like me, right? Like that feel just like me, feel like you're looking for success in your career, your business, your life, and you just don't want it the traditional way, right? Like it's not about like, oh, how can I get 6 figures? How can I make 6 figures quick by tomorrow? Like if that's what you're looking for, well then definitely this is not the place for it, right? This place is about how do I really get in touch with who I am, really, and really take a bold move on the things that I want to do and move forward in it. And so this is why I created this community. But it took me a while. It took me a while to get to this place. And like I said in my first episode, because this is my 3rd episode now. In the first episode, I said I've been sitting on this idea since October of last year. So the first thing that I had to do was take ownership, 100% ownership of how I feel in every moment of every day. So what does that look like? What does that look like to take 100% ownership of how I feel? Well, if I felt like somebody had did something to me, like if I feel like, maybe somebody said something, did something, and now I'm angry, my tendency would have been, and it kind of still is sometimes, because hey, I still have to check it because you have to be intentional about this journey, this Bold Move Challenge journey, right? So sometimes it happens to me, right? And I'll get upset and I'll say, oh, it's because that person said this and that person did that. So you know what? I'm justified to act the way that I want to act. When really, that wasn't helping me. It wasn't serving me. What was really serving me is when I took 100% ownership of my own feelings, meaning that I no longer loaned out my power to someone else. I kept it for myself. And if I felt upset about something, and this is not to give the other person It's not to say that the other person is okay or right. Like, it's not even about the other person, right? It's about, how do I feel? And why do I feel that way? Like, what about what that person did or say is making me feel like I have to react this way? Right? Like, how do you get in touch with your feelings and take 100% ownership of them? It's by being present. It's realizing that you have the power to change how you react to things. You have the power to decide how you show up every day. And it's not to say that, things are not going to come against you, because that's what life is about. There's just different things that we're doing and different things that happen on our journey. And when you get to the point where you're not judging it, right? Like, you're able to step back from the stories that you tell yourself, you're able to get to a place where you can say, okay, why am I feeling this way? What about this feeling is telling me something? Like, what about it do I resonate with? Because here's the thing, and I had to learn. When somebody says something that really upsets you, it's because you find parts of it true. Right? Like, if somebody says something to you and it makes you angry, deep down inside, you feel that way about yourself too. And you hate that. And so what do? You react. But when you take ownership of your feelings, those feelings become your teacher. It becomes your teacher, and it teaches you and it helps you to realize what it is that you're feeling, right? But it really is dependent on you being present in the moment and taking ownership, 100% ownership for how you feel. Keep the power to yourself. Keep the power to yourself. Right? Okay. So the second thing that I had to do for me to really get moving on this bold move journey is to become crystal clear about what you want. Write your vision. Now, here's the funny thing about this, because like, some of these things sound really simple. Maybe take ownership might be a little fuzzy, and that's okay, because it feels fuzzy, because it doesn't feel natural, right? It doesn't really feel natural, but this one right here, number 2, become crystal clear about what you want. Now, this one can be a little tricky, right? Because everybody knows what they don't want. I don't want this. I don't like that. So quick. But then when you say, okay, you don't like this, you don't like that. Okay, well, what do you like? What do you want? And that's when you get the, Sometimes what you want is not clear. Sometimes it's so much easier for us to default to what we don't want. See, but the thing about when defaulting to what you don't want is that you start facing your energy, right? Like, you start directing your energy to the things you don't want. And when you're focusing and giving so much energy to all those things that you don't want, guess what? You're going to get those things, because your focus, your energy is what gives life to what you're looking for in life. So if you're looking towards things that you don't want, you will accomplish those things. You will receive those things into your life. So it's about being crystal clear. And sometimes, and it's just not about just leaving it in your head, right? It's just not just leaving it in your mind and not writing it down. Write the vision. Right? Like, see, I'm not going to try to make this a religious thing, because I'm not really religious, but I am highly spiritual. Right? I'm highly spiritual. And so I am going to refer to the Bible here. When in the Bible, where he says, write the vision, make it plain, so that those that come up and read it can run. That means that you are so clear. You have written down your vision so clear that somebody can pick it up, read it, and say, oh my gosh, I'm about to do that. I'm about to do that because it's so clear. I know what I need to do. Is your vision clear? The vision that you have for your life, the vision that you want for yourself. Is it clear? Is it crystal clear? And the thing about it is that when you're writing down your vision, don't judge it. Don't judge it. All right. Thank you, Karen. I agree, right? Right? Like you cannot judge it. You have to. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your comments. See, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for community engagement, right? Like, I've created this 30 minutes, and for now, I'm going to keep talking until, that I have people join in and share so we can commune. But until then, I'm just gonna be here for 30 minutes. Like I said, I'm committed to doing that, creating this space for leaders. Leaders just like you to just tap in for 30 minutes, just kind of get a bit of inspiration, kind of get your mind right, just kind of think about things in a different way, right? Because it's Wednesday. I don't know if somebody's been working your nerves already, but sometimes, you just need a little time just to kind of tap into something. And I hope that you feel like this is a human way for us to connect, right? Thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate that. So, yes. So when you write your vision, don't judge it. Don't try to critique it. Don't try to edit it too much. Just write the vision and make it plain. What is it that you want? And what you'll find is that every day you come and you look at that vision that you've written down for yourself, you'll tweak it. You'll tweak it here, you'll tweak it there. And before you know it, you will become so crystal clear. The road ahead of you will be so clear. But it starts with becoming crystal clear about what you want and then writing that vision down. Because once you do that, once you know what you want, then you know who you have to be, right? Because it's not about attracting what you want. Well, the late Dr. Wayne Dyer, what is his quote? It says it's not about, it's not about attracting what you want. No, you don't attract what you want. You attract who you are. Right? So then when you become crystal clear about what you want, then you move right into becoming it, right? Like you realize that it's like, okay, I need to be this person that I'm writing this vision down for, right? Like this vision is, I'm going to do X, Y, Z. Well, then I need to be X, Y, Z. And you have to be X, Y, Z. And the third thing that I had to do, because this is leading right into it, is that don't wait. Don't wait for things to happen. Move now. Take action now. Here's the thing. You keep procrastinating. Here's the thing. Imagine it though. Imagine this. Imagine you start whatever it is that you want to do today. And I don't know what your cadence is for what you want to do. Like this, I'm doing this every week, but maybe you might pick up something where you're doing it every day, every month. Who knows? But imagine if you actually made that bold move, right? Like you actually took that step and you moved forward in that and you stayed committed to it and you were intentional about it. And you started now. Where would you be by November 2nd, right? Because that's the deadline for this bold move challenge that I'm doing. And then I'm going to go on vacay and then I'm going to reevaluate, the past few weeks and see, how much growth that I've accumulated for myself. Like, where am I at that point? Right. But you can't wait. You can't wait. You got to move now. You've got to take action. I've recently heard of this model, which I thought, very awesome, very good. It makes so much sense. It's called let's see, where is it? Okay. It's called the have, do, be verse be, do, have. Okay, so a person who thinks in the way of have, do, be, what they do is they say, I'm going to wait till I'll wait till I have whatever it is that you want. Then I'll do whatever it is you think you need to do. Then I'll be, I would have made it, right? That's what you tell yourself. But what about if you reverse that? What if you look at life from a different approach and you look at it like, well, okay, now that I know my vision, right? Like, okay, so first, I took ownership. I took 100% ownership of my own feelings. Okay, so now number two, I've become crystal clear about what I want and I've written down my vision. And so now number three, don't wait for things to happen. Move now, take action. So the be, do, have model would look like, okay, now that I know what I want and I know who I have to become, I'm just going to be it. I'm going to be it. And because I am it, I'm going to do the things that I am being. And so, of course, I'll have everything I'm looking for, right? So in this instance, right, like I am going to be, golly, what would I even call this role? But, I am going to be a facilitator. I am going to be a facilitator of, people being bold right now. That's what I'm going to do. So when I say that that's who I am, so then what do? I just have to do those things. Well, what does a person who facilitates, boldness in others, what would that person do? Well, this person would do this. This person would create a community for leaders to come and tap into. That's what, hey, Tony, what is up? That is so super cool. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining. And if you guys have anything that you want to be bold about today, I would love for you to put it in the comments, what you want to be bold about. It's super cool. Yeah, that was so super cool. So let's get back to don't wait for things to happen, right? Like take action now. Right? Like, so if I'm a facilitator and I see myself as a facilitator of helping people on their journey of boldness, I'm going to do this. This is one of the things that I'm doing, right? Among other things that I'm doing. And then because I'm doing it, of course, I'm going to have eventually, like, does it happen overnight? I don't believe it happens overnight. Not at all. And I'll be totally honest. Like I said, I am not that kind of coach, right? Like, I'm not that kind of coach that'll be like, get it. You're going to get it in you're going to about to get a six-figure income. That's not me. Because I believe that when you are intentional about what you want in your life and you really embody that and you become it, I'm gonna tell you, all those other things are going to happen. It's inevitable because it's about attraction. You don't run, you don't chase after success, you attract success. So it's about what you're being, doing, having is inevitable. Take action. And some of the things that kind of slows you down sometimes is when you try to take this big idea. You try to take this big idea and then you say, oh God, I can't do it. It's too much. I can't accomplish that. It's too big. Well, here's the thing. What's the tiniest step that you can make that is actually a bold move for you? And watch your inspiration move you towards that. Watch you start going. Watch you start moving in that area. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna, but you gotta take action. You can't sit on it. Because like I said on my last episode last week, the thing about it is that when you sit on it, eventually your body is going to get used to it, right? Like if you've ever heard of mind body is that whatever you think and your body does what you do every day. So if every day you come up with a thought and every day you sit on that thought, well, guess what's going to happen? Eventually, you're not going to feel it anymore. You're going to be numb to those gentle urges like, go on, you can do it. That dream is yours. You got it. You can make things. You'll sit down on it so long, you won't even feel it. You'll ignore it. And the only reason why I shake my head is because that's what I was doing. And it was like I was projecting my unhappiness to everybody else because it was like, you got to move. You got to take action. It's not the time. Who cares if you don't have it all together? So what? So what? Another thing that I've learned on my journey is that how people feel about me is none of my business. You hear what I'm saying? What you think about me, what you feel about me, I had to realize, like, it is none of my business. What my business is what I think about myself and how I feel about myself, right? And I believe in myself. I don't believe that this calling on my life is just to sit on it. And I'll be totally honest, it gets uncomfortable. to sit on it. So the question again, are you living the bold life? What does the bold life look like for you? What is it that you could do today that would make such a difference by November 2nd? What can you do? What would it look like if you believed in yourself and you actually took that bold chance and you stepped out? Where would you be by November 2nd? You don't have to have it all figured out, right? Because when you wait, and I heard this from author Carolyn Myss, she said when you wait, she said what you do with weight is that you actually put weight on yourself. So while you're waiting, you're actually adding weight. So now you're feeling stuck. You're feeling heavy. You're feeling like you're stuck in this place because there's all this weight. And then you might say, well, Tracy, okay, I do feel that way. So then what do I do? How do I get out of it? Make a bold move. Because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. And it's not, not because, I'm just trying to scare you or anything like that, because I'm keeping it real with you. It's like the most simplest things that you try to do, like when you try to move forward against all odds, right? Against your stories. It's not easy. You just kind of have to push through. But here's the thing. Once you push through, my gosh, you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked because then you'd be able to be like, oh my gosh, this is me. This is the bold me. You are bold. See, this is what I believe about people. I only have about 3 minutes and I'm going to sign off on time. But I believe that everybody is beautiful. Like I truly do. I just believe, because I truly do believe that every person is an image of God. Everybody bears the image of God. And I just feel like it's wrong to look at anybody to judge, right? So, but I also say this to say, how can you not be awesome? You are inherently awesome. You are inherently bold. You are. But the way that society has kind of gotten us right now, especially with, the news and just all these different things going on, sometimes you might sit down and think, well, I don't really, maybe I can't do this. Maybe I'm not meant for this. You are. You just have to take a bold chance on yourself and take action. Move. Make that bold move. So I'm going to go ahead, and since it's about like 2 minutes, I'm going to go ahead and just start shutting it down so I can stay on time. And so what I'm going to say is, definitely if you have a bold move that you're going to take, share it on social media, share it on whatever, platform that you're on, hashtag bold move challenge. And I am, searching and looking to see if there's any bold move challenges and, to share it for the next episode. Get on your bold move challenge. I know that I can't be the only one that wants to do something great and is willing to put themselves out there. So I am going to leave you with this. Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you. Shout out to Karen Thornton. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And so I'm going to leave you with this. May you be bold. Hold on, I'm trying to get to my friend. I'm so sorry. I'm not as smooth ending this, but that's all right. And that's okay. All right. So, so what I want to leave you with is, may you live with love, right? Like with all love, with clarity, and with all the confidence in the world. May you be bold and, oh my gosh, be you. Be you. Okay, Be Bold Coach is signing off. And thanks for watching.